Yeah, the system's like a Delilah or a Jezebel or a harlot. It's always throwing something out there for you to look at. Let's see if you want it. It'll throw a leg out or a thigh or an arm or a neck or some hair. It'll throw something out there. The system's always throwing something out there for you. The news, the media, some hobby, some distraction, some fear dart. Some get rich quick scheme. The system's always throwing something out there. See if you'll take the bait. Try to find out what you like, what you want, you know. Find your weakness. The system is not your sister. The system is a system. The machine, it shines it up. Like if you were to go buy that car, they'd shine that car up, make it look shiny before you bought it. The machine. Instead of the system being a sister, it's a harlot or a Jezebel or a Delilah. They don't really have your best interest. And so they'll throw the stock market crash, the war, anything to get you to focus on the outside, the natural. Instead of setting your affections above, it's doing anything and everything to get you to focus on this place. I look back on some of the women I dated or whatever, and some of them were obvious. As I look back now, they were obvious agents of the system. They were not. They did not have my best. They were not a sister in Christ. They did not have my best interest at all. And if you ever married one, like a sociopath, like the sociopath's trying to figure out what you want and trying to put that fake reality in front of you so that you take the bait. But it's not real. It's not who they are. They're actually playing 2 or 3 different games at once with people. These are players. These are psychopaths. Some psychopaths are killers. And I guess any psychopath, you know, a narcissist is a low-level psychopath. A sociopath is a psychopath, but more of a, not a killer necessarily, it could be. But a psychopath, that's the highest level. And so the system's psychopathic. It's always throwing something out there. Some gossip, some backbiting, some trouble, some fear, some worry, something about time, just worry about this place. It's always throwing some other issue from the natural realm. It's always throwing something out there to mess with you, to irritate you, to harass you, to throw you off course. Sometimes you do it to yourself, you know. Some things you shouldn't even be focused on. Sometimes you need to start over, tear everything down and rebuild it. Sometimes you need to tear your whole life down and rebuild it. Renew your mind daily. Get rid of the junk. Get rid of the foolishness, the insanity, the stinking thinking. Turn your stinking thinking into right thinking. Renewing the mind is so important. That I don't even have words for it. It's the most important thing you could ever do. Getting a new heart and a new mind and a new spirit. Because if you try to do it the old way, it's nothing but trouble. It's always trouble. one example of the old way. So let's say somebody hurts you or does something. You can live in bitterness and unforgiveness if you want to, but go ahead and just forgive them and move on. You know their character, move on. Set the boundaries. See that house? They got a lot of boundaries up. Look, they got some serious fencing around that house, don't they? That's what you got to do with your heart, your mind, your soul, your will, your emotions, your intellect. You got to set the boundaries. And you got to be serious about it too. You can't backslide on those boundaries. See those boundaries, that boundary fence right there? You gotta have boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, the psychopath can get in. And even the music and the TV. I mean, I'm to the point now where I don't want to hear the noise, the system noise at all. So the system is not your sister. The system is a Delilah or Jezebel or just the harlot trying to show some leg to pull you in. But it's all fake reality. It's temporary pleasure. It won't last. And it brings death, actually. So you're all worried about stuff down here. This is all going to burn up. So you should be setting your affections above, not below.